So what does Rishi Sunak need to do? Produce a credible fiscal plan next week, underpin it with tax rises he can get his party to agree to put through Parliament, and spending plans that can actually be delivered on the ground. He then needs to devise an energy price guarantee, an energy price support system that can last in the longer term. He needs to tackle some of the longer term economic challenges and some of the promises made about levelling up, about net zero. He needs to address some of the problems that we're seeing of industrial unrest, where we're facing a winter of discontent with lots of strikes in key services. And he needs to shore up some of our public services that really look as though they're teetering. He's about to be faced with the imminent collapse of the caretaker executive in Northern Ireland, which is in not a very good place, very difficult there. And then on the wider international stage, there's still tricky relations with the EU, ongoing negotiations about the Northern Ireland Protocol. He's got the war in Ukraine, and ultimately he'll have to decide where on earth the UK stands on China. I think the really interesting question is, are the Conservatives perhaps scared a bit by the experience, the traumatizing experience of the last month and the loss of a second Prime Minister this year? Are they prepared to row in behind decisions that they might not individually like very much for the sake of party unity? And ultimately, the Sunak government, say, for the sake of the country's long-term interests. We'll have to see, because that's not been a very ingrained habit on the Conservative backbenches in recent years. I think, in a sense, his more immediate priority has to be to assume that the best thing he can do to turn around the Conservative electoral fortunes is to show that the Conservatives are capable of governing in a fair way in the national interest, some of the language that they've been using. Because if they continue to look, various Conservative backbenchers have said this, if they continue to look like a party that is incapable of making decisions, incapable of making those decisions stick, then they will probably deserve to be punished by the electorate next time round.